Hey, what's up? It's your favorite entertainment publicist and sports agent extraordinaire, Lady Lila Brown, and I'm here with another edition of Hollywood and Sports. I cannot wait to break down the amazing career that is Mr. Sir Lewis Hamilton, coming over from the world of Formula One, being recognized as one of the greatest race car drivers of our generation, and how he was able to transition into the fabulous world of fashion. So quickly, name another Formula One racer. I don't know any, do you? If you do, please list them in the comment section, because I can compare and contrast. They've never had a career quite extraordinary as Mr. Sir Lewis Hamilton. So just some background on me. I get to work with some of the best athletes in the world, Olympians and Paralympians. I've also worked with NFL and NBA athletes and really helping them break the mold and go over into the world of fashion. So first and foremost, with Lewis Hamilton coming out of this world of Formula One, I mean, you know, in the States, that's not really big over here in the US. And so just to see him, first and foremost, he's just winning. He's winning all the Grand Prix races. He's winning top of the podiums. You know, he's really making a mark in the world. And then we look at him and then, like, clearly he's really good looking. So this really helps when you are an athlete, a jock, a meathead, musclehead, whatever you want to call it, and you just are known for sports. Like, I really help athletes like figure out how to kind of break out of the mold, especially when it's super competitive. Like, how do you stand out? And why is this important? It is important for those to come out and cross over into mainstream media first and foremost, and then to explore the world of lifestyle, entertainment, and especially when it comes to fashion, because it's a revenue generator. So there's just some athletes, they just really want to be athletes. They just want to go home, train, compete, win, do what they got to do, go home, take a nap, and do the next thing next season. But for other athletes that kind of want to really be famous, and like you really have to have that intention that you want to be famous, I advise them to go into the world of fashion. How do you get started with extending your career over into fashion? So for our athletes, professional athletes that are watching this and they really want to know, I mean, it really helps when you have an agent that also explores the world of marketing. So for me, I have a background in entertainment publicity. And so it's just in me to have these amazing athletes as clients, but it's like, we need to be going to Fashion Week. And so if you've been catching up with the career of Sir Lewis Hamilton, you would see he was always at a fashion show. So I want to point out first and foremost, for anybody that's ever reached out to Dior and wanting to build a relationship, for one, we're talking about the Mr. Christian Dior. Like, not just anybody can get into those shows. Like, you know, every season I'm RSVPing, I'm requesting invitations for my clients to get into these shows. They don't just let anybody in. You have to be extraordinary. But not only that, I mean, come on, he's really, really good looking. So people like him should absolutely get into the world of fashion. So for any athletes that think that, and they know that they're good looking, get with an agent that also is going to help you explore the world of entertainment. That means getting into the world, the fabulous world of fashion. What I think is so interesting about his debut collection with Dior is that it has nothing to do with Formula One. It's all about his love for snowboarding, which I think is very timely because the Milan 2026 Olympics is coming up. So he's really tapping into that. So that's what I really kind of talk to my clients about, is like how to be a little bit more strategic. Like, this just doesn't happen overnight. So if you want to think outside the box and really do something different, like, this is the example of doing so. So it's only been just a few months since this collaboration has been announced, but some of the images are starting to come out very early. And guess what? This is what is so interesting. There are certain athletes who just know like their sport is not that popular. It doesn't get a lot of TV time, especially in the United States. We're just very limited on the amazing sports that we have access to. But this is so amazing that rumor has it that LVMH, Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy, is getting into sponsoring motor racing and it's all because of him. So one person can absolutely make a difference. He is bringing more attention to his sport. So for all those that say, I wish more fans would tune in, especially with a lot of Olympic sports and Paralympic sports, they really want people, like, they want the fans, they want you all to tune in, not just the Olympic years. This is a lot of conversations that we're having right now. So he's doing that because he's exploring his interests outside of his sport. He's getting into fashion. Yes, he knows he's good looking. I mean, come on, like, yeah, I see this face. But think about it. You need to have some really good investment into your hair, your makeup, your skin, your everything, your fashion. You need to invest in these things because this is your public image, okay? When we talk about NIL, we're talking about name, image, and likeness. So that means anything that even resembles you. Like, what is your distinctive trademarks? What's your signature style? What's your personal style? So what I tell my clients, like, before we hit red carpets, before I even start getting you like a lot of these sports endorsements, like in fashion, I always ask them, what is your personal style? Like, let's explore that because it might be a brand that's perfect for you. But this is what is so exciting about Hollywood and sports when it comes to fashion right now. What I think is so cool right now about the world of Hollywood and sports is that, I mean, first, come on, look how amazing this campaign is already turning out to be. Once upon a time, a lot of fashion brands were just not really open to the idea of even mixing the world of fashion and sports. And so now we see, thanks to athleisure, a lot of luxury brands are really getting into collaborations and partnerships with top athletes. And so I remember just maybe even 10 years ago when I was taking my athlete client to New York Fashion Week. And if anybody remembers the like frenzy that was Olympus Fashion Week becoming Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week, then moving over to the tents, we had, Bryant Park, then we had over at the Lincoln Center. It was just bananas. It was just a big circus. But I remember a lot of my colleagues in the industry would look at me like, what is this girl doing? Why is she taking athletes to New York Fashion Week? And now you see it's common. It's happening more and more, and we see more Olympians going to Fashion Week. So it's really great. But I remember having an athlete, an NBA player, who I thought was really good looking. And I said, you know what? I could really see you having some real good success over in the world of luxury fashion. And he was like, really? I kind of been thinking about it. And it kind of hit me that maybe this particular athlete wasn't getting the reinforcement from other members of the professional team. Maybe even his homeboy Central, his friends, but just maybe he didn't have anybody in his circle that shared his vision. And so he started digging into it, and he's doing very well in the fashion world right now. So for some of y'all that know who some of my clients have been in the past, you know who I'm talking about. But it's really good to see once you have somebody on your team that shares your vision, even if it's like one of your secret desires that you're really not wanting to tell people about yet, if you got somebody on your team that believes in you and has that foresight, like, stick with it and really experiment and explore this world. So all in all, I really like this collaboration. I have really enjoyed watching the career of Sir Lewis Hamilton. I have never seen any of his races. I mean, I love all sports, but I just don't even have the time to get into it. But I know who he is. And so when I see athletes such as, rising talent and then now emerging into this fabulous world of fashion, I think it is so commendable to see that someone is not afraid to put themselves out there. They're willing to go to fashion shows. They're willing to meet with designers. They're willing to host these events. And so, of course, everyone wants to do it. But how many people are really going to invest in their personal style, creating a signature look, and really branding themselves in the world of fashion? Even if the others on the other side of fashion are not really open to the idea, maybe they don't see the vision, there's a way you can bring other people to your way of thinking. So I commend this. There's some amazing fashion collaborations that are being announced right now, so we'll break it down. Next up, we're going to talk about Lupita Nyong'o getting Chanel. She's their latest ambassador, and like, again, these brands used to not really rock with a lot of diversity. So what is it? Why are they able to secure these endorsement deals and others are not? Let's break it down. Let's explore it. This has been another edition of Lady Lila Brown, bringing you Hollywood